everyone, my name is Abby, and today on Abby's Crafts and Things, I'm going to show you from complete start to finish how to make a mask. With everything going on in the world right now, we all have to wear masks when we go out. So I figured I wanted to do a sewing video, but I wasn't quite sure what to do, but this is what I ended up doing. So let's get started. So the first thing you've got to do is you've got to get all the thread right in your sewing machine. So, undo this. Now, you're going to take your big thing of thread, and for me, I put it way up here at the top, and you just push it through. And yes, the sticker might come off. So then that stays on there. Now you're going to take your string, and on mine I have little directions. On here I put it through here, and then I hold it right there. Up here I hold it so then no more string can unravel. And then I wrap it around this top piece. Okay, now you can let it go. Depending on how long your string is, you might need to cut a little bit off, which is what I'm going to do. And now you're going to take your thread and your bobbin, and you're going to put the string through the top hole on your bobbin. Put it up through. And then you're just going to pinch it so then it doesn't go through anymore. And then on the top of your sewing machine, there should be this little peg up here. You can see it, right there. That little peg, you're going to want to align your bobbin with that and then push it on in. And now you're going to push it over, and that's what tells your sewing machine that you're filling a bobbin and that you are not sewing down here with the needle. So now you're going to hold it right up here, and you're going to press down on your pedal. You got to make sure that you're holding it really tight, and then there we go. And now you can let go of that string and keep filling. That should probably be enough for what I'm doing. Now you're going to push it back over and slip it off. And you're going to unwrap it and take it off. And now you're going to cut the string with about 6 inches left with the bobbin. Set the bobbin to the side for now. Now, this string is hard to pick up. Now you're going to wrap it around the back here and then down the front. You might have to twist the side here to get that thing to pop up because you need to wrap around it. Now you are going to thread your needle. There we go. Make sure it's aligned right, and then pull it under. Now you're going to take the bottom piece off and get into the middle here, this is probably the hardest part about sewing this whole thing, to be honest. You're going to take this out, and if you have a bobbin in it already, take it out. Mine is empty. Now you're going to take your bobbin that you just filled and put it in. You don't want to have to go backwards to get it. You don't want to have to make it go backwards to get, there's a little slit right there. I'm not sure if you can see it. There's a little slit right there, and you don't want to have to pull your string backwards to get it in. If you do, take it out and flip it over. There we go. And Now slip it down in, and your bobbin is ready. Now put it right back into your machine. Right down in there. And you can just stick the extra string right in there. And then close it up and put this piece back on there. Now, you're going to twist this little side thing over here. You're going to twist it until you get something. You can either use your scissors to just kind of push it out of the way. Oop, that wasn't it. Or you can use your stitch remover and just swipe underneath here. But that wasn't it, so I'm going to keep turning. Oop. I got it. Now you're going to pull that little string out, and you are ready to start sewing. So now that your sewing machine is ready, you got to get your fabric ready. So depending on the fabric that you are using, you might have to iron it. With mine, it is all wrinkly, but I don't really think I need to iron it. So I'm going to take my fabric and, let's see, push this back just a little bit so I have more room. And you're going to take your fabric and fold it in half. Okay. Oop, I'm going to have to fold it a little more. That should be just about perfect. Now I'm going to take my little template here and lay it down. Oop, that's not quite enough fabric. So you've got to fold it, fold it even more. And my fabric is odd shaped because we've used it a lot. So if you just bought your fabric and you're just starting to sew, this process should be a little bit easier. Now, perfect. Now my piece fits perfectly on there, and you can either pin it, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use these little colorful pins, and I'm going to pin the piece of paper down to my fabric. Or what's a little bit, it might be easier, but in the long run, you may see pen marks. So you can either pin it like I'm going to do, or you can just use a pen and draw around it and cut it out that way. Again, that will be quicker, but in the long run, this will look better than if you used a pen. Now you just finish pinning all the way around it. There we go. You gotta make sure it's all flat and there's no folds in your pattern. And then pin, all the way around. Ow! And be careful not to poke yourself, like I just did. There. Okay. Ow! I just poked myself again! There we go. So now you're going to take your fabric scissors and make sure they're fabric scissors. And make sure to not use your fabric scissors while you're cutting out your template. Because if you use fabric scissors on paper, it can ruin the scissors and you won't be able to use them for fabric. So now, let's cut out our little, gosh, how am I going to do this? cut out our pattern, which is very hard to do on camera because I've got to make sure you guys can see it, but I've also got to be able to see it and make sure it's right. So then you're going to cut up the sides. Okay. This is really hard. And then go over top. Now that it's off of there, I'm just going to move these pins just a little bit so then I can get the rest of it to cut. And then I'll be able to take out these pokey pins. Oh gosh. Oh, that was a bad cut. Okay, right there. Now throw all your scraps in your garbage and try your best to fold up your fabric, which is very hard when you have really odd-shaped pieces. So now, let's take all these pins out of here. These very, very pokey pins. And the reason that I have pins that have the little dots at the end of them, try and see if I can show you. This one has a little yellow dot at the top. The only reason I have pins like this is because I wanted to know which side was what, so I didn't get poked more. But I just keep getting poked, no matter what I do. Okay, now close up your pins. You don't want pins spilling all over the floor like what happened to me yesterday, I believe. Okay, so now you've got your two pieces. Mine are wrinkly, like I said, but if you're a beginner and you're just learning how to sew, then I recommend ironing out your pieces, but I don't really need to. It's just a little bit easier if I do, but I don't need to. So now you're going to take the pretty side, as I call it, and you're going to put the pretty sides together, which can be hard, and you may need pins to do this. I don't. So now you're going to put them together and turn them sideways so that it looks like a fish body. And then you're going to sew the long side together, which I'm going to show you how I do that. Just like that. Yeah, get back here, Mr. Petal. And then just sew them together. Perfect. And you want to make sure when you're cutting off the excess string, you cut as close as you can to the fabric, because that will make it cleaner in the end. Now, if you can sew really close to the edge, you can skip this step. But as you can see, if you can see my sewing line there, I have a lot of excess. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut the excess off, so then you have just a little bit of room. So I'm probably going to cut about half of my excess off. Again, if you can sew really close to the edge, you can skip this step. Perfect. Throw the scraps in the garbage. And now, even if you can sew close, you still got to do this part. So you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut just little slits. And make sure not to cut on the part, like on your string, because then you'll have to start over again. So just cut little itty bitty slits in it. This helps it be more flexible and easier to get around your nose. Little slits all the way around. Okay. Now you just fold this part in. And this is an adult mask. You can make your pattern a little bit smaller if you want to make them for kids, but right now I am making an adult mask. And now you can either pick a different fabric or you can use the same fabric again and you do the same thing again. So I'm going to quickly cut out my pieces and sew them all together again, and then I'll come back when that's all done. Okay, now I have two pieces that are exactly the same. And I decided off camera to iron them because they just got so wrinkly. Okay, now, again, you're going to put the pretty sides together. Let's see. Get out of there, seam ripper. Okay. Now you've got both pieces together. You're going to sew along this side right here and along that side right there. And you're going to sew those together. Make sure to not sew the ends. Perfect. Make sure to cut as close as you can to the fabric without cutting the fabric. Throw the strings in the garbage. And now you're going to do the same on the other side. Perfect. Okay, now, the reason for all this time that you have been putting the pretty sides together is for this moment right here. Now, it's just this pretty much plain pattern, and it has all the seams in it. You're going to turn it inside out. And it's going to look so good. Now, whoa, perfect. Now, you can't see any seams other than just the little itty bitty lines that are running across the middle and on the top. But those are meant to be there. Okay. Now, you're going to take your elastic, which I believe my elastic is hiding right back here. Well, first, before you even take your elastic, you're going to fold the ends in so they look nice. And you can't see any of the rough fabric edges anymore. You can just fold it over, but that makes it harder when you are trying to put on your elastic. So what I like to do is I just fold them all in, like this. Ah, keeps unfolding on me. Get down in there. And then you're going to take one side of your elastic and just put it in. And then you're going to take one of your pins and pin it in place. Just slip it right up there. Perfect. Now that piece is not going to move. Nope. Ah! Now you're going to fold the other side in. And take the other end of your elastic and stick it right there in the end. and pin that in place. Ah, it's coming out. Perfect. And then you're going to pin this in place. And then you might need to put one more in the middle, which I'm going to do just to help a little more. Perfect. Now you're going to sew up the edge, and you're going to do the same to the other side. Okay. No, get out there, elastic. I'm going to slip that pin out and start sewing. Pull that pin out. And make sure not to sew right over your pins, or that could break your needle. Okay. Perfect. Don't want to cut the fabric. There we go. Now, you're just going to do the same thing on the other side, and I'll come back when that is done. Okay, everything is pinned now, and it's time to sew the second piece of elastic on. Here we go. Throw the garbage away. There we go. And there is your completed face mask. And the way that I made it, it's reversible. So you can wear it, even though it's the same fabric, you can wear it this way, or you can wear it that way. You can do this with two different fabrics, but I just kept it simple and did it with one. So, thank you guys for watching. Please make sure to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. I hope to see you on my next video. Bye!